We're going to complete our series on the skills of freestyle and how to see them by talking about alignment today. Alignment is so important because it determines how much resistance swimmers create as they move through the water. The more resistance they create, the slower they're going to swim. There are two main issues that freestyle swimmers need to look out for. So the first thing is they want to be moving as horizontally through the water as possible. So they want to stay in horizontal alignment. Rarely will they be moving with the head down and the hips up too much, although that can happen. Generally speaking, when there's problems with lateral alignment, the head is up, the hips are down, they're kind of plowing through the water. And so that's going to create a ton of resistance, and swimmers are going to swim a lot slower as a result. So swimmers want to create as much horizontal alignment as possible. The second issue is lateral alignment. So when they're moving forwards, if they're going side to side, that's going to create issues with lateral alignment. Sometimes you see that independent of the breath because swimmers are swinging the arms across the body. And sometimes it's caused directly by the breath because by picking the head to the side, that's going to pull the shoulders out of alignment, the hips out of alignment, and now they've got problems. So poor alignment is really going to slow swimmers down. So making sure that they have great body position in the water and they can maintain that position is really, really important. One of the other important aspects of the skill of alignment is maintaining alignment as swimmers switch from position to position. So when they're on one side, they're rotated to the left, they've got to switch to the other side, and they've got to do that without losing their position. And that's really important. That's a really difficult skill for a lot of swimmers because they tend to think of body position, body alignment as a static thing, but really it's a dynamic thing, and that's where a lot of the challenge comes through. So we talked about breathing last time and how breathing can affect alignment. So if you want to know more about the breathing aspect of it, please watch that video. We're just going to stick with non-breathing alignment here, and we're going to take a look at what it looks like and what it can look like when things go wrong. So we'll take a look at horizontal alignment in distance swimming here, and as you can see, there's a line from hand to toe. And so what swimmers really want to accomplish is being really, really level in the water, and that's super important for minimizing the drag. And what you can see here is when the head's down, good alignment, and then even when he breathes, hips stay in position, it's still really good alignment. You can't see too much of a difference, and that's a really important aspect of maintaining great alignment is doing it through the breath. So again, staying really stable, staying really long, staying really level. Key aspect of alignment in freestyle. Take a look at the same thing in sprinters here, and you can see the head's down, the hips are up, and they're maintaining that position, and there's not a whole lot of movement in terms of up and down, hip side to side, or the hips dropping as they go through. So really level, really great position, and it's all about just holding that position. So distance swimmers and sprinters, there isn't too much of a difference in terms of the posture that they create and the position they create and the alignment they have as they move through the water. Being level at the surface is what's really, really, really important. So with horizontal alignment, it's not so much about what you do, it's about what you don't do. And what swimmers really need to focus on, what we need to help them work on, is finding a position where they can be level, the hips are up at the surface, and everything is moving straight through the water, and that they're able to maintain that position when they're going at really high effort levels. Now, when it comes to lateral alignment, what we want to see is that the shoulders aren't moving side to side, they're rotating, and everything is moving straight through the surface. So take a look at this swimmer here, and as you can see, shoulders are rotating, but they're not going side to side. And she does a great job here through this breath. You can see the head stays right on line. There's zero side to side motion. And as a result, if you watch the shoulders here, they're cranking back and forth. They're still cranking back and forth, but they don't slide out to the side when she takes that breath. So she's got great lateral alignment, and she does a really great job during the breath, which is something that a lot of swimmers struggle with. So again, just coming straight through, hips aren't moving side to side, shoulders aren't moving side to side, everything's moving forward. And she actually breathes to both sides, and you still see the same thing. So head's down and level, still head's right in the same position, and it comes right back, and it's really smooth like that. So again, pay attention to the hips this time. You can see from side to side, they're rotating, they're moving, but they're not moving side to side. So shoulders are in line, head's in line, breathing's in line, hips are in line. And so what you can see sometimes is either because of the breath or just in general, the shoulders start moving, the hips start moving, and then they're creating a whole lot more resistance as they go through the water. And that's going to be really problematic because that's going to create a lot more drag and it's going to slow them down a lot. So being really good about rotating instead of turning side to side in order to get the range of motion through the shoulders is really important to minimize the impact of drag. So to touch on the last piece, we'll talk about maintaining position as they go through the water. So what I want you to pay attention to here is the hips are staying right at the surface, the head and the shoulders staying right at the surface, and everything is happening smoothly and rhythmically. As he transitions from body position to body position, there's not a whole lot of extra movement or unnecessary movement. He maintains really great alignment. So everything is level in the water. He's still keeping everything moving forward, and it's a dynamic position because he's shifting from side to side, but it's still one that's stable and minimizing the creation of resistance, thereby minimizing drag and helping him go fast. So maintaining great alignment is not a static skill, it's a dynamic one, and swimmers have to be able to manage that and hold their position even though they're doing all these other things with their limbs that can affect what they're doing with their body. And if they're able to do that successfully, they're going to swim a lot faster. So we'll take one more look at this swimmer here. And again, you can see that everything is happening really fast. It's happening dynamically, but she's still doing an excellent job of maintaining her alignment. Her head staying down. She's going side to side in terms of the rotation, but she's not going side to side in terms of a lateral deviation. She's keeping everything super clean and everything super fluid. And that's exactly what we're looking for. And this is during a sprint race. She's doing all these things at really high stroke rates. And again, maintaining alignment from a continuous perspective in terms of shifting from position to position is a really important skill. And it's one that's ultimately going to allow for swimmers to swim even faster. As always, keep it simple.